Hey, it's Don. Today we're going to show you some items we've sold in the last several days. I picked a random selection of items. Most of these I paid $1 or less for, or they were bought in big bulk where I only spent a few pennies on each item. But let's show you some of those right now. So here we have a record. This is a 45 record from 1981. Now, I remember Showbiz Pizza, and if you're probably up north, you probably remember the chain as well. They had animatronic figures, kind of like at Disney, that moved, and they had a band. And this is a record from Fats and Billy Bob, which were the main characters on one of the shows that they did there. Showbiz Pizza was very popular. Maybe it still exists. I do believe it shut down, though. Mr. Bassman, which is a vintage song as well, and it sold for $25 plus shipping. I'm fine with that. I have like a quarter into this. I have another one of these actually that I will be listing real shortly here after this one has been mailed out and feedback has been left. So nice purchase here on this one. This next one is a Luggage Label or something along that line. It's reflective, so it may have went on a bumper as well. I sold this one for $30. I have $1 literally into this. I bought 15 or 20 of these for $1 out of sale, so did very well on this one as well. Now here's a brochure or a booklet from 1920s of Pikes Peak, Colorado. I sold this one for $18.50. This is another one of those 50-cent or $1 purchases. I bought a stack of paper at an estate sale, and this was in the lot. At the most, as I said, 50 cents or $1 into this. These sell all the time, these earlier ones, especially if the cover of them looks like a travel poster of the day. You can see a touring car there. There was a tour group that you could take up through the Pikes Peak area. You'd pay and it would be a convertible, like a long limo style vehicle. This next one's a large format sheet music. Now, I didn't pay a dime for this one. This one came in a big bulk lot. I believe you see that in one of my haul videos as well. This is from 1874 and I sold it for $38.50. Very fine with that. It's not the best topic. It's more Irish related in nature here. Angel of Killarney. Still a decent piece. It looks very nice. The artwork was great. So I'm fine with that on this one here. Now we have another $1 purchase here. This is a Trinket Box. It's made of pewter and brass, and it has a name, a manufacturer on it. It's from Hong Kong. Pentco is the name of the company. You'll find tons of pewter and brass by them. Most of the ones that are worth anything would be these containers. If they also look like an animal or something like that, they will go for some good money as well. And it sold for $18.50, so I'm fine with that profit margin on here. Stuff like this, too, can go in multiple categories. Boxes, trinkets, dresser items, turtles as well in the animal section or collectibles. So it's just a nice, decent item. It's vintage. It's from Hong Kong, mid-mod century. Everything you'd want in something like this. Now here's a roller skating label. Now this one's from California, so I did very well on this one. It sold for $34.50. I'm fine with that. I have just a few cents into this. I bought 4 or 5 of these along with some patches and some skating equipment as well. So very happy with this one. Now, photo-wise, I just got a huge assortment of photos, over 2,000. I think we counted 2,200 or thereabouts. This is from a prior lot that I still constantly sell. This one did sell for $34.50. I have nothing into this one. I long since have made a profit on all these, so whenever one sells, it pretty much just pays for some fees, and then I still make a profit above and beyond that. I average a couple of these from this one lot about every week now, and I had hundreds and hundreds of them, so I'm down to like a third of what I originally had in about a year and, say, 8 months time frame. So I'm very fine with that, with the lengths. I had so many of them. We made so much money pretty much instantly that this is just a gimme here. Now here's a paper toy. This one sold for $22.50. This is from a local company, and these do show up at estate sales around here pretty much all the time. So I run into these fairly often. Most people don't think much of it because it's literally no way to stand it up from what you can see. It's also an advertising piece as well. You can stick a little piece of board in there. This is circa, say, 1890s, 1905-ish at the very latest. I'm very fine with that. 50 cents to $1 is mostly what I see these going for, like at a store, even at a shop. I picked up a mess of these at an antique mall for 50 cents or $1 a piece, depending on size. So very happy with that. Every one of these I get, I do sell. I may have to hold on to them for a little while, but I'm in no hurry to sell them. Now here's a chopping ulu, I guess it would be pronounced, from Alaska. Now this is something that we paid $1 for at a closeout sale. I bought a bunch of stuff like this, including other ones of these. They've all sold at this point, 20 bucks plus shipping on this one. Again, this is something I bought in big bulk lot. I bought a bunch of different things from the same area, all Alaska items. It was from a gift shop or something that went under that somebody else bought out, went up to auction it, and I nabbed it as well. So good purchase here. Now here's an early Valentine's Day card. It's made out of two, I guess you would call them die cuts of some sort. They're actually punched out with angels in the middle. They're very cute. They're tied together with a little tiny silk ribbon of the day. And I sold this for, I believe, 45 bucks on this one here. I'm happy with that as well. I've got a couple bucks into this one, but even for a couple buck investment, I'm still going to make $32, $33 profit on it. This one was only up for about 2 months, so I've got, at the very, very most, 10 cents total into listing this. Now here's a handmade sterling horse pin. Somebody cut this out by hand. You can see the little saw marks. I have not seen something quite like this. It's signed on the back as well. They've soldered on, silver soldered on the clasp. They've actually hammered, and you can see hammer marks to kind of make it a little more dimensional on this one. Now this one sold for $24. This was bought in a big bulk lot of jewelry. I had it up for maybe 3 or 4 months. Again, I'm happy with that. I got nothing almost into this, pocket change at the most. Now this next item here is a religious medal, and I pay maybe a quarter or less for these in big bulk usually. Sometimes at some of the church sales I can buy bags of these for just a couple dollars. I sold this one for $22.50. I think it's been up about 9 or 10 months, which is fine with me. That's about 50 cents total in the listing, this one item here. So again, I can't complain on this one at all. This next one here is a cabinet card dated 1906. It's of the YWCA, Young Women's Club of America, and they're juggling in this one. I bought this one at an antique mall, and you can actually see it in one of my hauls. We paid 15 bucks, I do believe, for it, and I sold it for $57.50. So nice sale on this one, definitely. It's been up for maybe 5 or 6 months. Again, it's like 30 cents max in listing fees. Now here's a piece of vintage electronics. This is for a CB ham radio. This is a power meter. You would plug in the lines and you'd be able to meter the power through it. Now, I don't mess with CBs in general because there are some laws and some licenses you need to have to sell them. And I learned my lesson on that a long time ago. So I only mess with the add-on devices and things like that. I sold this for 30 bucks, so very fine with that. This was a 50-cent purchase out of a junk box at an estate sale maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago. So again, nothing into it. Really have no listing fees. So it's a real good profit for something that just sat around, listed it, and then forgot about it for a few months. Now here's another tobacco silk. I sell on average one of these a week or more. This one I took 75 bucks for. Again, I put things up high. 75 bucks is at the top of the line on what these go for. And I had multiples of this specific one as well as many other ones. So you're going to see these throughout the history of me selling these. They sell extremely well. It's all profit other than the few cents in listing fees on this because I've sold so many from this purchase. We've made a couple grand easily off the purchase of this, and I still have probably 2/3 of these I haven't even listed yet. Now this last one is a record. Now I had this one up for probably about 9 months as well. So I've got 45 cents max in a listing. And if this isn't my first 10,000 listings, I only have half of that, about 25 cents in listing this for that length of time. Paid $1 or less for this because I never pay more than that for 78 records. If I hand pick them, I pay $1 or less. If I buy them in bulk, I pay even less than that. This one I took $50 on an offer. Prices fluctuate on this. This is not a name brand label. Diva is more a generic one. Might have been sold at Montgomery Ward's in the 1920s or so when this came out. This is Fletcher Henderson, which is fairly well known, very good jazz name to collect. He wrote a lot of music on his own as well. This is his Dixie Stompers. Decent record, very happy with the price. I'm making almost 40 bucks profit off of this purchase here, which is typical for this sort of record. That's typical on some of these pre-war jazz 78 records. This is an early 10-inch disc. Never came with the sleeve other than a stock sleeve. But that's what I have for you today. Well, there you are. Hopefully that gave you some ideas and some thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button down below. You can also hit that bell icon to be notified if I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell all your friends.
This is Professor Goody speaking to you from a diving bell 400 feet beneath the ocean, where I'm about to prepare some delicious Aunt Jemima frozen waffles just for me, not for that pesky waffle whipper. Waffle, waffle, waffle. I take them from the freezer, pop them into the toaster, and light, crisp, golden brown with Aunt Jemima syrup on them. Aunt Jemima waffles for kids who like a square meal for breakfast. Wallace, please stop. All right, Wallace, won't you join me?
That's a waffle whipper whipping an Aunt Jemima waffle. They're in your grocer's freezer. Is there a waffle whipper at your house?